A very simple line drawing where we use lines to make a drawing out of an image that we already have, basically a tracing. Okay, so I'm going to find my image actually first. So I'm going to go over here to my lines images, click the folder, and I'm going to pick this one, Dakota Visions, to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this image and I'm going to drag it down here and drop it on my Photoshop CS4 icon. And that's going to open up my image right up here in the corner. Now this image is kind of small, so I'm going to drag it out, make it bigger. Then I can go View, Zoom in, or hit Command plus to make the image a little larger. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make some new layers. So I want to go up here, Layer, New Layer. First, I want to make what we call a paper layer. So I'm going to title this layer Paper. Okay. Now I'm going to make another layer, Layer, New Layer. I'm going to call this one my drawing. So we've got three separate layers here. The background is where the actual picture is. The paper layer is where I'm going to put down like a color, like a piece of paper to draw on top of. And the drawing layer is where I'm actually going to draw with my pencil. So let's start with this paper layer. I'm going to click the Paint Bucket tool, go over here to Color, click my color picker, and I want this image to be sort of a light gray off-white. This looks pretty good right here, so I'll click OK. And I'm just going to go ahead and dump this, boom, right on top of the image. Now, we can't see the image, so I need to go over here to my Layers palette. I'm going to find my opacity slider, and I'm going to drag this down to maybe 50%, just enough so I can see the image pretty well underneath. Now I'm actually going to put a lock on my paper layer so I won't be tempted to draw on it. So I hit the lock button right there. Now if I try to do anything on it, you'll see I get this message, which is exactly what I want. So now I'm going to go here to my drawing layer. To do my drawing, I'm going to need to pick a brush. So I go over here to the brush tool or hit the letter B. And now I'm going to pick a new brush to use. So I click the drop down right here, click what we call the flyout. I'm going to go down here to Dry Media Brushes. And in Dry Media Brushes, it's okay, I'm going to find my old friend. Down here is the number 5 charcoal pencil. This is really my favorite tool for doing drawings. This is what I'm going to use to start my drawing. Now this is actually kind of a small image, so this pencil's fairly large. I'm also using the wrong color. So I'm going to go, well, I can just leave it there. We're going to go over here, and first I'm going to make it black. Okay, and I'm going to lower my opacity down because I don't want my lines to be too dark. So I'm going to go down to about 59–60%. See what that looks like. Boy, that's still pretty dark. Let's go a little lighter. It's not too bad. This is a pretty heavy pencil, especially because this image is not really of the quality that we would like. But for this particular project, it'll do. This picture is going to come out kind of small, but that'll be okay. You'll see what I'm doing here is I'm just tracing over where I see lines. Now, it also helps that I'm using a draw pad here because the harder I press on the draw pad, the darker the lines will come out. Here, see, I get a nice thick dark line if I press harder. Or if I lighten up, I can get a lighter line. Notice that you don't want to just press down and make one long solid line. I'm actually doing short little soft strokes to go like around the edge of this fence here and simulate some of these lines. Don't just press down and drag. You want to make short little strokes, almost like accents. You can almost hear my draw pad. It's because I'm not just making one long stroke. Okay. You can kind of see that. Now, what I may want to do here, because this area here kind of goes against what my hand is used to, I'm going to grab this tool, the hand tool, and change it to the rotate view tool or the letter R. Now I can actually grab my image and turn it so that my hand is going to be a little more comfortable drawing this line. Now I'm going to click B to go back to my brush. I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to sketch in this part of the fence, and it gets a lot lighter up here. And I'm just drawing in really the basics here. There'll be a little more detail over here on this end because it's closer to you. So over here I can actually see some of the detail in the wood. And of course I haven't even started yet doing like the barbed wire on the fence. That's going to be a little more tricky. But let's take a look so far here at what we have. I'm going to rotate. Okay, I can actually reset view and it'll go back. Now, I can go back over here to my layers palette. I'm going to click on the paper. I have to unlock it here. And now I'm going to raise my opacity all the way back up. Now I can start to see my drawing. And actually, I'm pretty happy with this. I can go back to my brush and I can actually start to fill in some things just by hand, just seeing some spots that I kind of missed, some places that I want to do some touching up. This is really not too bad considering that I've only been working on it for a few minutes. You want to continue working on this project. You can raise and lower the opacity on your paper layer so that you can see more or less of what you've drawn. And of course, you want to do as many details as you can. Eventually, you'll put in all of your details. You might even use a white color for a little bit of accent. That would be okay. Adjust your opacity up here to get lighter and darker colors. And eventually, you'll get a nice looking finished drawing. All right, have fun. Good luck.